My name's Alistair Fay. I work for Debenhams. I work on the international side, the international franchise division. So this event to me is all about understanding how Debenhams and the international team can leverage what's going on out there in the best possible way. I think it's all about delivering an experience that cannot be captured online. You've probably got the speed, you've got the convenience, you've got the information online, you've got the product essentially, but I think we're moving away from a period of that being good enough to a period where customers are looking increasingly desperate for more. They're demanding more. They want more personalised product. They want a personalised experience. And I think the winners in the current sort of retail apocalypse are going to be those that are able to do the best job of approaching that and delivering an in-store experience which delivers more than a simple transactional online experience. I think there's sort of two trains of thought. I think you've probably got the online sort of pure play guys who are probably have the faster moving tech, have the higher R&D budgets, who are sort of applying that sort of data-based approach into a store environment. And you've probably got the legacy retailers, the sort of bricks and mortar retailers, who are probably starting from a smaller base of data and systems, and both people going on the same journey but from opposite directions. So I think technology is, there's so much out there these days. It's all about sort of understanding where that investment is going to be most worthwhile, because you can't speculate on everything. You've got to be able to sort of back your winners and have the confidence to invest in the most appropriate technology for your business. Much easier said than done. I think for me it's sort of track record. I think you need the case studies that are applicable to what you do. There's no point us looking at an innovation for a technology that supports a grocery operation because we don't have perishable goods. So I think it's having applicable track records in the industry in which or the sector in which you're working, but also being open-minded enough so it's not all about sort of history, it's about future and sort of credibility. But I think a lot of what we do with our partners is about best practice, and it's about sort of brand recommendation. So, however you cut it, that ability to deliver, proven ability to deliver a tangible product that's adding value, that's what we're likely to put in front of our franchisees. Personally, I've worked in 3 or 4 other retail businesses. I think it's the hardest thing you can ever do. And coming from our chief executive, Sergio came in from Inditex, Nike, Amazon, 3 very sort of tech-savvy, very forward-looking, high-performing retailers, and he's come into, as I said, a 200-year-old department store retailer, and he was very aware of that need to change the culture. You probably had half the business that have been in there, working as a Debenhams employee for over 20 years. They've always done things in a certain way, approached problems in a certain way, found the same sort of, the answers from the same kind of pool or area. And Sergio's really challenged that, and as I said, is sort of focusing our sort of company mission statement at the moment is to make shopping confidence boosting, sociable and fun, which is all about that differentiation to online. Those 3 things are much harder to achieve online, and that is fundamentally changing the way that we behave as a business. Sergio's also established 5 behaviours that he wants to see happening across the business. So he's working from the ground up to really try and re-establish that culture at the forefront of what we do as a business. Okay, yeah, I think the key for me is the personal touch. So I think doing what I do, it's all about relationships with our franchise partners. And I think increasingly relationships are becoming important in retail. That direct sort of brand to consumer relationship is becoming even more critical than it ever has been. And I think events like this, where you're getting like-minded peers in the same room, you all have the same challenges, you're just at different parts of the curve, you're really able to cut through the kind of the bog of indecision by coming up with tangible examples and ideas that you may not have come to yourself or as a business. No matter how talented your team is, you have to be able to look outside and take the best from the environment rather than just the business you work in. I think what I find most valuable about this morning is getting direct case studies. So I read a lot of retail press, very active on sort of retail Twitter, but there's no substitute for face-to-face interaction and learning directly from other brands' experience and other individuals' experience, and getting kind of like-minded peers in the same room and coming up with different ways of approaching the same problems, or truly innovative ways of working which are applicable for what we do. And I think Debenhams as being a very sort of a heritage, traditional 200-year-old retailer, it may be harder for us in terms of culture and mindset to be truly open and innovative as a sort of smaller, more high-tech startup is going to have that naturally in their DNA. We are, desperately trying to, work on that as a business and to leverage it and to be, a brand for the future and not trading on our past.